I'm gonna try to shift those of us who come here halfway into the scene to Fire 716 Radio. I'm trying to shift those of us who come here halfway into the scene to Fire 716 Radio. I'm trying to shift those of us who come here halfway into the scene to Fire 716 Radio. Okay.
You only got one listener. Do you want me to start it over?
No. Just let it ride.
Cut that out.
Yeah.
They can hear me.
Mm-hmm. Talk about what we talk about. Just let me know when you're ready. We good money?
Yeah.
All right, listen. Thank you guys for coming through. Good evening. Oh, you about to switch now? Thank you. Hey, what's going on? Listen, welcome to the Vault. We are back. We just had a little technical difficulties, but at the end of the day, we know how to get through that. So we're back here. First, before we go into business, if we can go, all of us who are here, go to Fire 716 Radio on Facebook. We have YouTube. But go like and subscribe and all of the good stuff. All of the thumbs up and the bells and whistles and all that other stuff. Let's make sure we do that, support that, because that's where we're coming out of. See, right now y'all doing this whole phone thing with me in this country. It's a little ghetto. Y'all want these good cameras around here. It costs a lot of money, and you might as well just go ahead and utilize good quality viewing. With that being said, I have somebody here who is not a stranger here on the Vault. And this man has probably one of the coolest first names that I've ever known. We have Mr. Donta Richardson. What's going on, Mr. Richardson?
How you doing?
Hey, man, listen, glad to have you back, good brother.
Glad to be here, man. It's the only place I get to open up.
That's right. That's right, brother. Right here at Fire 716 Radio. Listen, let's kind of like hop right back into the meat and the bones. Really, we talking about the city, man.
Yeah.
If you take about a couple minutes and give people the backdrop of like where you come from, where you have gone, and what brought you back this way.
So again, man, I don't know if y'all been watching, but this is like my third time here, so I don't want to bore you with my story. So I'm originally from Buffalo. I got family in Niagara Falls, a lot of family. I ended up leaving Buffalo, going to New York City to work, end up getting into Stanford University, built a few tech companies, end up moving back to New York City to work for a guy named Richard Branson. Y'all probably heard of him. Well, one of his companies, lead business development for them. And I ended up coming back to Buffalo, New York after I saw a panel discussion regarding Tech Buffalo. Then like the following year, they allowed me to talk. And when I got back here, we drove through Niagara Falls, and I looked at Niagara Falls. I'm like, wow, it still looks the same as when I was young. It's nothing here. It's a gold mine.
Right.
So I ended up moving back to Niagara Falls, and ever since I've been there, I've been doing ecosystem development with tech companies, trying to build a global, trying to give people here access to the global workforce through technology. We've been implementing some programs. We implemented a program, Stanford University program directly in the high school. We got another program rolling out with hopefully with CCC, but I'm not gonna lie, I've met so many people here that says that they want to do stuff, and they're people in power. And when I question them on their programs and the impact of those programs, like have they drove through Niagara Falls or even just talked to a few people in Niagara Falls, their programs really have no effect on the everyday person life in Niagara Falls, and it's kind of intentional. I'm starting to see that it's kind of intentional, because when you got somebody coming in saying like, yo, Stanford University want to do a partnership with you, the high school accepted it. It took a little while, right?
Right, a little push, a little fire.
When you're telling city governments Stanford University want to do, they literally have partnerships with the White House.
Right.
They have partnerships with the Pentagon.
Right.
So they come into little Niagara Falls saying like, yo, we want to do programming here, right? We want to build up your economy. and you kind of like just push it to the side, like you got a better program than them, right? Or you got better planning than them. Like it doesn't even make sense to me. And so, for example, if I just want to bring it back to the top, I was at the city council meeting on Wednesday. Shouts out to my son Trey Hamilton, he came through, right? Amanda, she came through as well too. Shouts out to her. But I was at the city council meeting, and I was just listening to the no-name companies, like shell companies, just receiving massive amount of money from the city's budget on the city's dime. Like, where's these companies coming from? Who vetted them? And every time you look at those companies and say, "Oh, it was a letter from the mayor and $198,000 to such and such Niagara JR BW6 LLC." Who is that?
Right.
Right? Like,
Right.
who are these people?
Right.
And when did these RFPs come out? Let me get into RFPs. So
Talk about it.
RFP, right, is a request for proposal. That means the government is needs work done on a certain project, and they request the public or people who have different companies to submit bids to do the work on this project. Now, normally, and that, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not 100% in government yet, but I just know a little bit. Now, normally, it'd be a working website to show where these bids are.
Right. Right.
The same way we get alerts about potholes, we should get alerts about bids.
Right.
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 You have a public service officer, a public information officer that we're paying $45,000 a year. This was a position made by the mayor for his personal information, basically to be text out to people who sign up for this text messaging system. So tell me that, okay, well, and I mean, cool. You're going to tell me it's a water main break on this street or whatever, or some flood warning. You're going to tell me
the Niagara Buffaloes.
Right.
Niagara Falls Buffaloes.
Right.
Playing a hockey game.
Right. But when it comes down to the business and things that could actually affect the people in the city of Niagara Falls, the things that like could possibly, where people in the city could actually get engaged with, it becomes a maze. It becomes twists and turns. It becomes red tape. They say, "Oh, RFPs, all this in the website. You just got to go in and click under, we want
to make it accessible as the Howard Milstein YouTube videos.
Right, right.
Because even those are getting pushed out, right?
Right.
So
speak on it, brother.
Man, it just kills me. But long story short, man, it is not just, don't think it's just the little guys that they blockaded, right? So a big guy came to town this week. He is the managing director of a multi-national billion-dollar company. And they have a headquarters for the East Coast that he single-handedly brought from New York City, and he convinced his headquarters in Belgium to move the company to downtown Buffalo. Now they have one of the biggest buildings downtown. It's in Fountain Plaza. It's a software company called Odoo. We took the kids on a tech career tour day to Odoo about 2 weeks ago with the Stanford program that I got running at the high school. Now, Odoo is supposed to be hiring people, 350 jobs,
right,
through the Western New York region. They're supposed to be hiring people right here, bringing them to Western New York if they have to, right?
Right.
And these jobs are entry-level positions too. To the fact that they would take a graduate out of high school or a person who took a tech program and just got the personal skills, you can get in. Right. Starting at $50K. That's the least.
Right.
You're going to get. Bare minimum you're going to get. And it could go up to $85,000 on higher. And as you in there and you putting in work, you could end up getting six figures working with them, especially if you're in like sales or project, or you're a business system analyst. So me being who I am, like I promised everybody I was coming here to revitalize the city, bring a tech sector. I brought the big boss who everybody in Buffalo's praising him, right?
Right.
You got the governor, you got the Empire State. They're praising him like because he's a Buffalo native who came back here and built the tech company. I think they got 184 employees downtown right now so far. So I brought him to the mayor's office, and we had a specific conversation regarding why they didn't get the why they didn't get the RFP, because the mayor office wants to actually have a new software system because it hasn't been updated since the 80s. So they're operating on an antique, antique software system that's outdated. That could be hacked anytime. Right? It could be hacked at any time. Anybody can hack it. With a floppy disk.
And watch this. The money, and they already, this is the crazy part about it. Yeah. They've also, went berserk spending the American Rescue Plan Fund. And like, we still have millions of dollars left of that fund that, is left over, and we spent more money on police cars and all of the like different other things outside of the specs of what one of the main things that fund was mainly to be used for, especially when it came down to marginalized
the economy.
Right, and especially those marginalized portions of the city that has had that has been affected negatively before COVID. Yeah. So this is like all in the writing. This is all in the wording and in the language of that whole American Rescue Plan. So that was one of them. Okay, well, we're gonna update the system, and we're still one of the cheesy municipalities that still got people coming in to have to pay their water bill and can't even pay it online when you own a home.
Yeah.
And so it's like things like that. So we're so for you to bring someone,
global company, hiring locally. So this was the core plan. They never got the proposal. So the software that the city wants, they sell around the world. Literally in Europe, governments is using this. In South America, governments is using this. Right? They got a headquarters in Buffalo and in San Francisco, Silicon Valley. That's their two biggest headquarters in North America, but they worldwide. Hundreds of thousands of employees and partners, all collaborating. Because Odoo, you can either work for the company or you can start your own Odoo company because it's an open source software. If you know how to build an Odoo system for a business, go ahead and build it. So it like supercharges the economy. So I brought him here to talk about doing the city's software system, right?
Right.
Or at least having a chance to submit a proposal, because they never got a chance to submit a proposal because the RFP was released during the holiday season. It was released November 20th.
That's like,
and you got to answer it January 12th. So it's like it was set up to lose because no companies besides retail companies is active, is super active during November, December, and January. They kind of shut down.
Right. So
by the time they realized that I had to send it to them, I'm like, yo, so I'm just checking through government websites, just looking through stuff like, yo, what Niagara Falls got going on? It's 2024. Let's see. I see the RFP. I'm like, I called Odoo, figured out that they got it. They're like, no, we didn't get it. Now, these dudes are the same dudes that's taking your kids to their headquarters trying to prepare them for a job after high school. We went up to NU after we left the mayor office to prepare individuals that go to NU and people in the community that could come from underserved communities to NU to train on how to use Odoo with a new building on Cleveland Drive when it opened, and then they have access to jobs too. So me and Nick wanted to do 50 jobs for Niagara Falls. Like, if I can get 50 people, he's gonna take them in, right? So the same people who would have got hired will be the same company that's doing the software system for the government, right? So it's a circulated economy, meaning like if this company's building your system, hiring people from your economy, it's all circulating because you're basically paying your own residents.
Right.
That's normally
like
how
full circle.
Yeah,
that's everything.
That's normally how great economics work. But for some reason, now they couldn't put in a bid. It got denied. The mayor said it was New York State law. They had to deny it. So the only person who could kind of like circulate this back is city council, right?
Mm-hmm.
City council, the only way it could like, who is this company? Because all that's going to happen, this is a $5 million job, right?
Right.
All that's going to happen is $5 million is going to go out the city, right? We're talking $2 to $5 million. And then the city's going to have to pay another $250,000 to $1 million a year to keep the system running. Exactly. So if you don't have a local company doing it that's hiring the people, right? That's from here, you're going to have a company that's doing it from out of state or out of town, right? And due to the fact that the mayor, and I want to say the mayor, but due to the fact that the city administration is kind of not digitally literate, I don't even think they paid attention to that RFP. Right. They just brought in a consultant. The consultant already lined up who he wanted to get the RFP.
Right.
Because you write the RFP just so your person can get it. It's crazy. So when I brought Odu in, I thought that they was going to be able to get an actual chance to respond to it due to the fact that they're doing a lot of stuff in Niagara Falls already and trying to rebuild up the economy. But the way how Nick and them got responded to, I think they might backtrack on that plan.
See, no, that's what happens. I'm gonna tell you what happens often.
Yeah,
is people get it leaves such a bad taste in people's mouth. True developers, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth because when they come here, see, we operate like hillbillies in the city of Niagara Falls. In the city of Niagara Falls, we operate like our local government operate. Let's talk about, I'm gonna go off a little bit because you talked about RFPs, right?
Yeah.
Because then I'm gonna go to the conversation I was having last week about the shelter. Yeah. Now that's for everybody that claims that everything is supposed to go by the books, right? This is the fun part. Let's talk about this. Everybody want to go by the book. Everybody while we're in meetings, Robert Rules of Order, and everybody want to go by the book when it comes down and when they want to, let's say, turn someone away
or constrain,
or right, mm-hmm. We're gonna go by the books, right? So, talk about RFPs. We talk about, you remember the pit chick. The whole situation with the dog shelter and everything and all of that other stuff that's going on. And it was brought to city council as an emergency. Because what happened? SPCA, they're leaving. We got to hurry up and get something. So, of course, we all like, shoot, they about to bounce like this year? We got to have something. And they said, yes, so this pit chick, so this was brought to us by the administration, and they're the only source that we have right now, and it became that. Oh my God, let's hurry up! Let's make something happen.
So there's no bid,
no RFP went out.
Okay,
right? Because it was an emergency, right? I said, man, I wonder how long this been, because that's like the way they brought it to us. It was like as if SPCA was just like hit us up a couple months ago and saying a few months later we up out of here, right? I did my homework. The beginning of in the year of 2020, the SPCA made that statement. We're being overflooded with, a lot of strays. Most of them are pits. A lot of them are being bred and just kind of left out, and then they're just brought here. Nobody's buying them. We're raising animals 4 or 5 years. We're feeding. We have to keep them healthy. We got to make sure that their meds is together. We got to make sure all the stuff together. And we're not a kill shelter, so we can't euthanize them. We can't get, after a while, if nobody's going to buy them, we're just going to keep them in this kennel, raise them until they just die? If we can't do that, and we're not getting any extra assistance from the city. So, and it's not just a Niagara Falls thing. It's different municipalities. They're just like, okay, it's too much now. That was 2020. A lot of y'all are going to be hearing this for the first time here. That was in 2020.
Wow.
They brought it to us in 2023 as if this was something brand spanking new. I know somebody gonna go back to the mayor and Tom DuBois and all these people because true story is they do watch Facebook as much as they claim they don't. So I'm glad you guys will see this. And so RFP, no RFP. So
I gotta tell Nick about this. Them boys got super lawyers,
right? See, that's the thing, that because it's time to put some heat. Because here's what's my whole point. Let's do things fair. Yeah. What's fair? Well, Dante, how about it's no longer, we have someone who's in another county that doesn't have the capacity that she signed up for in the contract. So you can't handle what you said you had. You said you had 15 years of experience of training when you only had one, and you only shadowed somebody for like a year or two. You don't have a vet tech on site. You're in Grand Island. You're in a whole different county, so we're paying you $20,000 a month. You told us that it was going to cost you $8 to $10K a month. You're paying 15. She's paying $1,500 for our portion that she's utilizing. She's getting paid $5,000 every week, $20,000 a month. No RFP was ever brought out. So guess what? Now it's no longer. And it's no longer emergency. She's barely, what I'm saying, they're making, and so
who family member is she?
Or who is she connected to?
Yeah.
That's the part. That's the part that I see. Nepotism is ugly around here.
And the thing is, it's not even like, I respect the nepotism of like Palo Alto and New York City, and you know why? It's because it's actual wealth going around.
Right.
Like, if it's nepotism and people is poor and like they trying to rob stuff, they don't got nothing to eat when you go outside. You don't even want to walk around your own city.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, it's certain parts of your city you don't even want to walk around. Like,
right.
It is nothing to do here.
Right.
It's like, it's
right.
not even fun nepotism.
Right.
Like, so for instance, Dubai is nepotism. It's ruled by kings, right? It's ruled by the Arab Emirates.
Matter of fact, listen,
it's not even fun. Like,
while we at it, there's Mr. Badge over here. Mr. Badge, I know. God bless you. From your mind, because I know you don't really do a whole lot, but from a space of, where you stand, what is your take from the perspective of the resident when it comes down to government? What have you seen? And like, because what happens is I'm in the middle of it.
Right.
A lot of the cats now, man, it's tough for me. I can tell you what I go through, but it's tougher because y'all see something different.
Right.
What does this sound like? What does all this sound like to you?
You want Badge or you want the Wiz?
Give me the Wiz.
You want the Wiz.
Right.
Okay. The truth is that we have grown adults in this city who are waiting for men to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're grown now.
Right.
We're not kids. We kind of know how things work. So the people have to stop being so reliant on government and actually getting up off the couch, coming together, building the systems, because we're grown now.
Yeah.
Right. It's to say one thing about politicians, that's one thing. But these are our communities, our streets. Our children have to go outside every day So it's time for the everyday citizen to start to take some accountability for where they live. We have to be grown.
That's a fact. And if I can add on to that, it's time to understand that government is business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really want to get into it, the city school district, over $100 million budget.
Mm-hmm.
The city of Niagara Falls, $100 million budget.
Right.
It's no two entities that's making more money than that.
Right. Right.
Now, when it comes to Buffalo, right? M&T Bank make more than the city of Buffalo.
Right.
So they Delaware North make more than the city of Buffalo.
Right.
As far as like those entities generate enough wealth per capita amongst the employees that they got that you could say that they make more than the city of Buffalo. You don't got that in Niagara Falls. You don't got that big powerhouse private industry that's steering the economy. The only thing that steers the economy is your tax dollars. So you might as well start figuring out a way how you could put your people in there. And I'm not even because what's going on is this, and I'm gonna be clear as day, like just from me seeing them kick out the largest tech company in the region, not giving them a shot to bid on the FRP, that means that somebody else got that bid. Probably somebody's son sitting in some basement in Niagara Falls who plays video games, and they just gave him an LLC that say Niagara Falls Tech RRP, and that is exactly who's gonna win it, right? Because that's what I'm seeing, and they are taking the money from the budget and they're paying their own family and friends off.
That's a reality.
And they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then what's so ill about it is they seclude themselves in a community, meaning like they put themselves in the vote, right? With your money. Because this is the money that they got construction companies, but who's the biggest supplier? Who's the biggest supplier to them? They got government contracts. And who's giving them the government contracts? Their neighbor. Their cousin.
Right, because they're right in the same system. They're in the same ecosystem.
Yo, the thing is, though, the ecosystem could be switched if people start getting out and start voting. And I'm not saying vote for anybody.
Right.
But vote for your own. Vote for somebody who know that you got that small business and that's willing to give you that pet center.
Right.
Because I know a lot of right, that's willing to give you that pet shelter.
Right.
Right? Because that's what's going on here. And it's not going to stop. And they're going to keep on promising you things, and they're never going to give it to you because they already divvied up the pie.
Right.
And they got their little bean bags for certain people. Like here, take your little bean pie. Yeah, take a little snack pack. Yeah, little crumbs. Yeah, you got your little snack pack.
Okay, I'm gonna do a hard pause right here, right? So this is something I'm doing new. I got this from the Wiz over there. That makes sense. So I really want y'all to really go to Fire 716 Radio and log in. Check this out on Facebook. So everybody that's here, I'm going to do a hard pause here. And I'm going to give you literally 2 minutes to click off of this. And you're going to go to Fire 716 Radio. Fire, F-I-R-E, Aura. I said it the old school way. F-I-R-E, 716 Radio. Go in, click that in, and tune in to the rest of the show because this is about to get real meaty. And I'm about to stop this one right here. So thank y'all for coming through. What's going on, brother JC? All right, listen, go to Fire 716 Radio and on Facebook. And I'm going to share that on my page as well so you can watch it on there. All right, see y'all in 2 minutes.
All of the Please help keep Fire 716 on fire by donating $7.16 to Fire 716 Radio on Cash App. We really appreciate you. Now, back to the show.
Some Fire 7.
All of the superpowers is.
Please help keep Fire 716 on fire by donating $7.16 to Fire 716 Radio on Cash App. We really appreciate you. Now, back to the show.
Dante Richardson. All right. So we back. I put this down now. It's not be country. So listen, so we were talking about these RFPs. Before we get to it, I know for those of you who were able to watch the commercial, listen, the next day for the singers only is going to be on February 3rd. So it's going to be right here at the Hanley Holding Center over here at 3019 Niagara Street. I was almost about to say Avenue. So yeah, overall, let's talk about it. So we were talking about this, like you said, like nepotism, and it not being, a good form of nepotism, because of the simple fact is our city is still struggling.
Yeah,
our city is still in a position of stagnation.
That's the scary thing, and they don't want you to get out of it, because I'm having meetings with these people, right? I'm like, okay, listen, I got these technology programs. I'm gonna give them to you for free.
Right. For nothing.
It's from Google.
$3.99.
It's from Google scholarships. Yo. And we got the company to do the placement. So we want to create 100 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We want to create 100 jobs in the city where within 3 years, the people at those jobs will be making six figures.
Mm-hmm.
That's $10 million in economic activity.
Yeah.
100 people got it.
Right.
They looking at me like I got four heads, because they looking at me like, yo, honestly, they want me to come work for them.
Right.
They want to shut me up.
They don't see. That's the thing about it. It's a different thing when you have someone who has some intellect and some knowledge, and you're just not somebody that's just coming rambling. You're coming with you're not coming with just ideas.
Exactly.
You're coming
with the game plan.
With the game plan.
And the activation.
And the planner.
Exactly.
You got the planner, the executioner, the one that can actually make it all happen all at once. We've made so many piss poor decisions in our local government, in the city of Niagara Falls. And so to kind of tag on to what both of y'all were saying earlier, we have to activate our youth.
Yeah.
If we think that we're going to move anything forward and leave them out of it and think we're going to do what our predecessors promised to do, because we were told to stay in the kids' place when I was younger, at least.
Yeah.
Y'all just go over there and y'all play with these toys.
That's actually the strength, though.
But what's that?
Activating our
Activate
youth.
youth.
That's why the first thing we did was we went to the high school.
Right to the high school.
And
that's
the
why I
reason,
was on top of that.
Yo, exactly. And the reason why, if we activate our youth, we literally almost gotta pass them the torch.
Right.
Like,
which you should.
Go ahead. This is what you should do. Go rock off and do what they say and do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because their youth is kind of almost not going for their shit.
Right.
A lot of their youth understand that they on some weird shit.
Right.
They actually want to merge and integrate and make the world a better place.
Right.
And I noticed that from when I was in New York City, it was this girl, she worked with me. and you know, we in our 20s. And she was like, yo, I can't, but I used to tell my dad black people were God. I never really hung out with you guys. And she was Asian. She was Asian. But she's like, yo, I used to tell my dad black people was good. I used to have white friends. He used to get mad when I had black ones. Now working with you, I was right this whole time.
Right.
She's like, most of us think you guys are like amazing.
Right.
So one thing about these kids is they growing up in a more integrated world than us.
Right.
And they able to flip the script.
Right.
Able to flip the whole script and bring everybody together.
That's why I'm gonna tell you that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people from the old guard don't want to let go of that torch. Because the true story is this: if we empower our youth and we let them know that they're no longer the future, change your language. You're no longer the future. You are present. Your relevance is today.
Even they youth.
Yeah.
Even the old guard youth. Because they gonna
right.
switch the torch too.
Right.
Because it's a whole different ideology. Generation Z and millennials got a whole different ideology than X and the baby
boomers, right?
Like, yo, bro, I was laughing at the city council meeting. I'm not gonna lie. Dude is like Sleepy Joe. He can't read. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, yo, they just voted for somebody who can't read. He don't know what's going on. And the instructions is in front of him. Like, yo, go ahead. Go. We laughing. We're in it. Me and Vince Cully is like, yo, are you serious?
And that, see, for me, let's talk about. I mean, that's the thing about it is this. See, because I and there was a point where, and I'm not gonna go too ham on it.
Yeah,
but
I could. I'm not in politics.
Right. But
I don't care.
In or out. The true story is this. You know, one thing about myself is I can work with anybody. I can work with. I made it clear. I told the mayor, and I said it publicly. I don't have a problem working with the mayor and the administration. I just don't work for the mayor and the administration. With and for is two different things. With, we're collaborating and there's synergy, and you're coming up with ways that we can actually help make our city better. With my ideas, your ideas, and kind of bringing in a collective of people to try to find out, because I always say my wisdom is that I don't have all the answers. That's wise for me. I can't tell you everything because I don't know everything, but at least I'm open enough to have that level of collaboration, that level of networking with people that do things that I don't do. I'm not a tech person. Yeah. So when you and Jody popped up and y'all was like, yo, man, we done talked to the mayor's office, we done sent letters to the school board and all these other people, I'm in a position. Yo, Mr. Lord, we need to talk. Because at the end of the day, I'm not versed.
You identify solutions.
But I understood we have a problem. There's a solution. Let's make it happen. Government does not have to, because you hear the mayor say this often. Oh, government is like, it steers like a Titanic. Everything moves so slow. It's not like steering
that's before there was computers.
Right. And so what
government not moving slow in Singapore. It's not moving slow in China no more. Like, I don't know what these people are governing, what rules they're governing by. We're getting smoked on a national level. And the DOD, the Pentagon is telling us, like, yo, listen, if it wasn't for our army, they'd have been came in here and crushed us.
And got us.
We would have been broke. Not even, if it wasn't for our army protecting our assets, we'd have been broke. Like, they would have been caved down on us, bro. If it wasn't for our army being a bully, now our military is bullies and they geniuses, right? They are strategical geniuses, and they allow us to do things as civilians and mess up and make mistakes. So I don't know if you ever saw like Roman Empire movies. So it's like Spartacus, right?
Yeah.
Y'all ever saw when the peasants was in the crowd getting sloppy drunk and they always was just stupid looking?
Yeah.
And then when it came down to like the emperor and the dudes that sat in the skybox, it was always super militant, and
Right.
They the ones who kept the empire alive so these dudes could go drink and watch people fight lions.
Right.
That's exactly what. That's exactly what's going on right now.
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. So with that being the case, see what happens is now people are asleep, and government has rocked our city to sleep a long time.
Restano smart though. I give him that.
Oh, let me tell you
He's
something.
a smart dude.
One thing I will never
But
say.
that Jim dude? No. All this, we voted him in because of his executive experience. Cool. He was executive at what time? Analog? And then punching cars? Like, bro, that is crazy that somebody would do that. And I don't even understand that model. And I really don't understand that model because they seen him in there. They know what's going on. Brax, the lady that came and walked up on me like, hey, do I know you? Yes, you know me. You know why? Because I came here last time trying to talk to you. You dodged me just because I was black.
Right.
You didn't know what I was about.
Right.
I walked up to her trying to talk to her the first council meeting when you was at that council meeting. Right. I'm like, yo, my name's Donta Richardson. She's like, oh, hey. And then just spent. But now when she heard what I'm actually here for, what I'm really doing, now she want to stop. Now she want to talk to a conversation. Oh, I'm a travel agent. Oh, I'm in kind of tech sort of. I work for a travel agency based in Australia. Or I work from remote. Oh, so you know this model.
Right.
You know this model already. So you're agreeing with me that we need to build a technology remote workforce because this is what allows you to work from home and allow you to make an honest and good living and a substantial living that's not dependent on the city of Niagara Falls. Because your company's in Australia. Right. And they paying you buku, but they're probably giving her 6 figures, maybe a little less, right? Depending upon what her position is. You never know, though. Depending upon what her position is. But she knows this model and she knows it works. Right. Why is she not promoting this? Or why is she promoting, like, trade jobs? Why is she promoting things that she's not even doing that's getting her fired? Right. Right. I don't understand it, bro. It seemed like it's designed poverty so they can constantly have these nonprofit programs, constantly get this grant money, constantly pay themselves these high salaries, constantly get nonprofit entities like NU to come in and act like they provided some type of service so they can keep constantly getting grant. It's like a revolving door of constantly, and nobody moves to the top, but they don't even move to the top. They even stay stagnant.
But it's a comfortability.
It's comfortability. They get to retire to Florida and Texas. Right. Yeah. But they don't move all the way to the top. They stagnate themselves so they can stagnate you.
It's that hierarchy of government. And the crazy part is the way this system works. And trust me, it works very well.
I'm telling you, man.
It works. The system works very well. For those of you who think that the system needs to be fixed, the system isn't broke. The system was created to work just the way it works.
We was in a meeting with Odu, and Nick expressed interest. And I never forget. And I got another meeting coming up with the mayor on the 30th. Let's see if he cancels. But but long story short, is we was in a meeting with Odu, and something came up to where the mayor was like, I think you should connect with this person. Matter of fact, email me, I'm gonna connect you with them too. Right? Mm-hmm. Then he told me to connect with somebody. I think her name was like Angela from he's like, you want to talk to Angela probably from the housing board. He told me I wanted to talk to them. No connection though. But he gave my man Nick, cool white boy, right? Uh-huh. He gave him the direct connection. So I'm thinking, so that sat with me a little bit like, why would he do that? Like, I'm here in the region.
Right.
But
you're the direct connect that chose to pretty much take stock in the city. You live here now.
Yeah. So why would you, if you connected him with the dude from county, right? And the housing authority, I was supposed to connect with her. You said you didn't send me over that connect, but I just watched you give him that connect. You could have did the same thing for me. So I see like certain things, and they don't be think I be paying attention to them, but I'm paying attention to them. And what I can tell you about politics, you only got so long. You only got so long to do bad. You only got so long. So you got another 3 years. He better make it count. He better do more than what I could do privately in that public office for the next 3 years.
And I think that's one of the biggest things right now. He's willing to try to shut down as much as possible of things that may come from another Black Dante.
He calls you Richardson. You don't even call him
Right. So he don't even want to acknowledge your name. You know what I'm saying? Because he already sick and tired of the other Dante that he have to deal with regardless. And I got another 2 years whether he like it or not.
The thing is, I told him, like, yo, listen. Let's build the city up. Put it on your agenda. Make it work. Because no matter what, it's going to benefit people. And when it benefit people, you could get that rubber stamp on it. And people would know that it benefit people. But I think it's the fact that they don't want to attribute credit to people. So people keep sending me stuff like, yo, I just saw the Stanford program in the newspaper. The superintendent said this, superintendent said that about Stanford. Yo, every time I read it, I never see my name. Even though I don't want to see my name, but I never see it.
Right.
But I see it constantly being promoted, and I know what's going on in the background with it, that we not collaborating how we should, but you exploiting the brand.
Right.
Keep saying Stanford, right? And we not collaborating how we should. You not all in with it because it's me.
Right.
If it was somebody else that didn't look like me, you'll be all in with it.
Right.
But you all in on promoting to everybody in the community that Stanford is here in the community doing this stuff. But you haven't really went full-fledged on it because they don't want to fuel another person's success because it could be their downfall. I think that's what they believe.
And you got to think this man is trying to get one, like you said. So let's talk like real.
All right.
Let's.
And I'm sorry for over talking, bro. I just got so much.
No, it's a lot, and it's good stuff that you're talking about. You got to think now. This is a mayor who got elected after jail in the 46, and being disbarred off of the as a judge. Yeah,
that's ill. He even got past that.
So he became a lawyer in the city of Niagara Falls.
Defense.
I don't know. I never dealt with
personal injury.
Who knows, right? So you know, Burns. So became an attorney. 2018, it was his pen. That's why, as much as I don't care too much of his toxic governing, I will never say that the man is not smart. He's smart. What did he do? 2018, the charter had been kind of revised. Who was the lawyer that codified that charter? Rustino.
Word.
2018 is his pen, his lawyer pen that codified the city charter.
To do what?
So basically, put the wording, place all of the wording, right? Listen. Okay. So to place the wording, the language, the language of, the city charter. So what language? Because language means a lot when you're a lawyer.
Yeah,
when
language,
you're dealing in the law,
language is cold.
You can change a if and a now, and it'll flip a whole sentence, a whole paragraph,
the whole meaning.
So he knew what he was doing because that was in 2018. 2019, what was that? The election year he ran for mayor. So he knows that charter like the back of his hand because he codified it as the lawyer. Let's go back. Smart. The dude is smart. So he happened to win an election, went into the black community. He got his black pawns, and we'll talk about them at another time. I'll definitely pull that cover out because there's some people that's toxic and that has sold our community. And it's really not a black and white thing. It's really a have and have nots. It's definitely a space for those the neglected, the marginalized, and those spaces, the underserved spaces. He went into those spaces and he got people to rally for him in those spaces because he doesn't have a voice in those spaces.
I mean, that's good. After he sent them to jail?
After he sent those family members 46.
He's ill.
Right? And got elected.
Yeah.
This man, I watched him do the same thing this past year. And didn't even change his speech. Oh, I'll have open door policy for you guys. Open door policy, and you need anything, you can always. My door will always be open.
I give him that. He do take means.
Listen, until it get rough. But when I'm talking about, see, the difference is
he might not activate anything after the meeting. Right, talking to you.
So I can't even say it was necessarily a lie. Yeah. He probably left his door. But at the end of the day, you walk in and there's nothing left. Watch this. I'll unplug the stove, but I'll leave the oven open. Does that mean you're gonna never cook anything? Absolutely not. Nah. So that's what happened. He unplugged the stove to our portion of the community. So when we came to the door, when we came to the oven to get this baked goods, it's nothing. We left with raw garbage. So let me go back. I digress. The man got elected twice. But like you said something that made sense. You said he better hope that he could do in these next few years much more than what you can do outside. Yeah. Here's the issue for him. So he'll get this message. I promise he will. People talk. Niagara Falls is a gossip, rumor mill, whatever. When they hear something, it's gonna go. Yeah. Because the last show that I had, it got back to me.
We got to get Brian Archie in here.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Let's talk. Let's pull him up. Let's have that conversation. Got elected again, right? Here's the issue. He only won a mayoral election in a Democratic city by 200 votes against a black ex-deputy chief of police who's not even liked that much in the black community. Think about that. An ex-black deputy chief who's not like, no. A black Republican ex-deputy chief in a Democratic city who really didn't have a lot of, isn't really adorned by a lot of people within the black community, because that when they think black, you get the black vote. This man only won by 200 votes. That's a sheer sign that this is your last hurrah. It's not too much that he could do now. Again, like when we're talking about, so I'm gonna go back.
Then I don't know, man. The dude has been crafty ever since.
Yeah, he can be as crafty as he need, but what happens is now people are seeing his weaknesses. It's kind of like a shark with blood in the water.
Yeah.
When the shark, once that blood is his blood is in the water now. It's too many people that seen and tasted his blood. They're like, oh,
yeah. Then when you see how close
that close with him,
it did. No, it was close with Demetrius too.
Right. Listen, with the let me tell you what happened. He was scared with Demetrius, but because of the primaries. With that primaries, first of all, when Demetrius was able to pull 500 brand new voters out, that right there, not the primaries, but early voting. To do that and they be legit, that's why he mushed that camera. You know what I'm telling you why he mushed the camera, man? This was before the results came out, because this was the early votes come out first.
Yeah.
When the early votes came out, what happened? Demetrius was up here. He was like lingering under Demetrius. He ain't know what to expect. This dude was like nervous. That's why when the man said, "Hey, what do you rate your city?" I rated an A. What do you think? Oh, I'm done. Mush the man camera. He was all discombobulated because of the simple fact that it's like, yo, I don't know what's really about to happen on this first Tuesday in November. Like, I'm sitting here and Demetrius Nix, who I thought probably was a joke, is over me. Now, of course, once all of the other numbers came in, it's like you got DeVoe, you got LaSalle, you got Cayuga Island, and these are places that are heavy voters or whatever the case is. Then it became the Rustino Kane. It became a Rustino Kane fight. Demetrius kind of got left out of that because he didn't go campaign in those spaces.
He ain't even cared like.
No, he wasn't even trying really at that point. He was just he had a point to prove, and he did. He proved the point.
He proves a point for sure.
A strong point.
Yeah.
So, with that all being said, powers are shifting. Powers are shifting, and if you ask me, one of the main reasons why, I was the senior guy in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
I was a senior guy. We just took control of city council. It's 3-2 now. It was 4-1. Then it was like, what's his face? Ken Tompkins. He dropped out of the Republican Party into conservative, but whatever that was, because at the end of the day, it's still the same. You're still sleeping in the same bed. So, with that being the case, we were the minority. I was the only Democrat for 2 years. Now, we get 2 new Democrats in, but I'm the senior guy. By tradition, the senior guy would get that chair seat.
Yeah.
Special reason why. That's a very special reason why that chair seat wasn't given to me, because I'm very...
Because you can read?
No. I can read. That's one. 2, you can't control me.
Yeah.
I'm not control. I'll listen. I'll reason with you. We'll talk logic. I'll see like, okay, but I don't march to anyone else's drumbeat.
What's interesting about the Knicks campaign is a lot of people were saying like, yo, Knicks, he's promoting bad stuff. We'll never go for the dude. So the same, have you recently saw the chairman's Facebook? Remember Nick whole thing about cannabis and he promoting?
Yeah.
Literally, the chairman got Snoop Dogg smoking weed on his cannabis trip. Like, yo, you think the Bills gonna win this game? You must be high. And he got Snoop Dogg smoking weed. And he's the chairman,
right?
Like, you would never see that. Like being a chairman is like being the speaker of the House,
right?
Or like being the head of the Senate,
right?
You would never see them doing that.
Right.
You would never see them posting nothing like that,
right?
So if they was able to talk down on Meech about cannabis, right? How they let Jim Perry do? I got the picture,
right?
I saved it. I'm like, yo, this is
right.
Can't read. He talking about smoking weed. He must be high, right? So I'm thinking like, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy how they put him there. I would have went with Bax, even if they would have said, yo, Bax, we gonna put you in, or because you was here longer. She's actually smart.
No, she is.
And Jim Perry was smart before his disability. But the thing is, the dude can't read, bro. And they really put a puppet up there. And now the game, you just see the games that they play. But we just got to organize. Like, we got to organize better.
And that's literally where it's at the end of the day, because I don't kowtow to anyone. Yeah. Because if I say what I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I'm willing to, and I think it's positive. I'm willing to question the mayor, his administration, the governor, if I had to. Anybody, if it's not for the betterment of the city that I represent, if you can't show me a better option. That's why I'm kind of going hard with this dog situation, because I got a dog. Yeah. I have a dog. And
what's interesting is they don't want you to have tech jobs.
No.
Because if you got tech jobs, that means you're smarter than them. They'd rather have you go work on some bill. And I see it. I'm like, yo, bro, all they got to do is take these boot camps. You probably see tech boot camps pop up on your Facebook all the time. Yay, software developer, join this boot camp. I'm explaining to him, like, yo, all you got to do is just take the same way you got them doing cement and doing all this welding stuff and being carpenters. It's the same thing with tech. Teach them digital marketing, teach them software development, teach them product design, teach them how to use a CRM system. It's the same thing.
Right.
But I think they don't want them to take that lane because now it opens them up to more information. You process information in those roles and you start looking at things. You start being a little bit more analytical about your life once you get in tech.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
And we can probably close on the question that I'm about to ask you. Because what that sounds like is the equivalent of slave masters not wanting slaves to know how to read.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. On that part,
that's exactly what it is.
So,
and the thing is, they don't know how to read because they digitally illiterate. So if you
get that,
if you get opportunity, that, you'll be able to pass them. So why would I promote that in this community? No, they need trades. They need to go build houses. They need to go
wood and nails. Wood and nails.
Why don't you go build houses? Why when you left this is what I be telling people. Like I told NU this. I tell anybody this that's in a professional position, right, or a white collar position, when they be like, when they try to talk like this trade stuff on the minority community, like they can get trades, they can get good jobs. Why don't you get a trade?
Right.
And let somebody get your job.
Right. You step away from the computer. You go get a trade system. You go grab a box of nails. You go grab a hammer. Go ahead. Say it word.
If they can hear me, this is my honest opinion when it comes to our children in the future. The future, just like back in the 80s, 70s, it was the factories.
Right.
Before then, it was the automotive. That industries. The future industry is cybersecurity.
Right.
I got that for you.
Because the internet is the biggest thing in the world and it has to get cleaned every day.
Every day.
It's got to get cleaned. So if your child is that type that would be a pipe fitter or an electrician, there's nothing wrong with that kind of stuff. If that's what they have a heart for, do it. But if your child don't know what they want to do, cybersecurity, they offer so many. This brother right here probably got. I got it. Yeah. So if you want to get in cybersecurity,
tap in with me. We got a free program coming directly from Google and Stanford. We teach you cybersecurity and product management, so you will be able to handle the digital infrastructure that this guy just explained as far as being on the internet, digital products. You know how your Facebook page get hacked. You can stop that. Or if your girlfriend looking to snooze in on your boyfriend, you can hack his Facebook page in his phone. Join the cybersecurity program.
You done picked up about 500 new.
Y'all want to put a tracker on his car? Y'all want to know what's pinging his address? Y'all want to watch him while he's at work?
Yo, like I said, it's time for the people to grow up. We all getting scammed.
Exactly.
So every day, we're either getting scammed or people are trying to scam us.
Right.
There's a business of scamming. So the fight of that is cybersecurity.
Right.
That's how you fight back the scammer.
And you got to have just as much. You have to have.
You got to be able to scam too, though.
Right. You got to be able to scam too. You got to have as much. The force has to be either equal or greater.
Right.
Let me close. I don't want to close out on this because you always close out. But as far as what you just said about the scammers, so Russia, Chinese, Iran is one of the top hubs for scamming, but so as Nigeria. Now, Nigeria's default on scamming. You know why? Because Nigerians taught themselves tech. They're some of the smartest people in the world. Mm-hmm. They wanted to be like an India. You know, when you call the airport, an Indian pickup, or you call your cell phone.
Right.
Or most of the back office technology stuff is getting sent to India. Now, Nigeria wanted to be the same way, but the United States companies is not outsourcing they backroom tech stuff to Africa. So I got these tech skills. I'm hungry. What you expect me to do? I'm scamming the world. Right?
Yeah.
You
Give me the
expect
opportunity.
it's the same thing that happened with the Black Panthers. They went to school, right? They went to school, they got their education, they started their own party, they tried to get people in office, they tried to raise money to get nobody wanted to fund them. So what they go do? They went to go robbing banks. So it's the same thing Nigeria is doing right now. They're robbing stuff through technology because our technology industry is not basically supplying them with a back end. They're not buying their services. They're not buying the technology services. And what fuels India is the United States. Like the United States got at your tech companies right now, Facebook got a whole team of Indians working on the back end that's working on our American stuff.
Right.
Mostly every country got a whole team. Every software company, most of their back end that's doing all of the hardcore stuff is in India. We just do the designing and innovation.
Go ahead.
Just partner on what he said, just to add to that.
Listen, I got time. So
just
it
add
is
to
what it
that.
is.
You know, for the listeners, on the flip side, I'm working on an animation type of school to bring to Niagara Falls for kids to learn to do animation. The trainer that I'm using, his freelancers are in Nigeria, in Africa. I don't know if it's Nigeria, but they're in Africa, and they're doing freelance animation work for like fraction of what you would pay somebody here for. So if you got dreams and aspirations, we do need to start looking beyond, especially to our brothers over there, to be the answer to that, because that's the connection. They're gonna do it for cheaper than people here.
They're gonna do it for cheaper, and some of them might try to get you, so you gotta know where you're going.
Right.
Because they don't know. They think you're American, you with the program,
with the system, and
you rich.
But the resources is there.
Yeah, you're right.
If we think beyond, you know what I'm saying? They're the dream, man. That's all I'm saying.
They definitely there. You're definitely right, bro. And right now, we in a position to where the government take care of us just enough. Right?
Yep.
Just enough for us that we can, that we won't vote, but that we can actually put something else together if we actually focus on it. Especially when it comes to these computers, bro. Like I'm working on so much stuff, bro. I'm working on I got this one project. This dude already tried to rip me off for it here. I'm working on something on Main Street, some big joint on Main Street. This dude named Lawrence Blabber. He tried to take my deal.
Really?
I brought it to him. I didn't bring it to him. I kind of brought it to him to go in and partner up or whatever the case may be. He tried to run off it without me. He's supposed to be a black dude.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Wow.
I should have never trusted him, bro.
Man.
Dr. Umar said it though. Dr. Umar told me why I should have never trusted him. If y'all know what I mean. Dr. Umar told me.
Ooh-wee.
But I'm still gonna beat him. He don't got enough resources. But I saw what he was trying to do.
Yeah, so here's where we are. Check this out, y'all. This right here, for those of you who are watching the Vault, let me just kind of give this disclaimer before we close out. I've been very let's say mild within these last Mr. Myles has been mild within these last probably 6 months. And I've just been kind of gathering myself together. And really, especially in the beginning of the year, just trying to see how things are. However, where I stand, see, I don't know if people remember Black Reality Unscripted. Yeah. So, this pretty much about where you about to get from here on out with me. So this is my disclaimer. So you heard it first on Fire 716 radio. At the end of the day, I understand that it's going to take disruption. It's going to take some assertiveness. It's going to take some abrasiveness. Because guess what? The people who are kind of going against, They're very abrasive in their own special way. I know about those, and I'm looking dead into the camera. I know who you are when you try to block the things that I even try to put forth. And guess what? Because Niagara Falls is a small city. So before you think that I'm just going to back, fall in line, you're dealing with a different individual. I'm cut from a very different cloth. Try to call me and ask me about what I'm talking about tonight, and you'll understand. You'll get some work. I'm going to be very plain and very simply clear. And guess what? I'm still your city councilman. With that being said, thank you guys for coming. Thanks for coming. Have a good night. Listen, you've been watching The Vault here with the Wiz. Got my man Dante, Mr. Richardson, your boy D Belly Dante, aka your city councilman, aka shout out to Taryn and Tyler and Taylor, Kunkel, aka your boy, all that other good stuff. Listen, meet us back here next week. I'm gonna try to do better with our timing, but at the end of the day, I'll try to always make sure that we're available. Share, go to Fire 716. Well, apparently, if y'all watching now, y'all watching from Fire 716, so we ain't on my phone anymore. I want us to try to transition this so you guys get an understanding. I want us to transition so I don't have to bring my phone and all that. Because a lot of times y'all come to the phone. I'm just giving y'all the disclaimer really quick. Y'all come to the phone and you're watching it from my page. I want us to actually support this because the Fire 716 Radio 1, we want to be a hub of information for the city. We want to make sure that this is very inclusive. We want to make sure that it's a positive space for our city, a space where people can come and be productive. People can come and actually show they have the karaoke, they have like all different types of events. If you have an idea, come and shoot it to the boss man himself and find out what it is that you want to do. But we want to make sure that this space, Fire 716, is inclusive to the whole entire city of Niagara Falls. With that being said, thank you guys for coming. We will see you next week. Prayerfully, I would maybe 5 or probably 6. I'm just trying to 6 o'clock. We're going to change our time, and you're going to find that out today. 6 o'clock on Fridays. We're going to be here, and I will catch you guys there. Peace out.
We got to start inviting